and why? Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me, please? I need to be sure that you can hear me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, thank you very much. So, like I was saying, if I were not a banker, I would be a DJ. And why did I say that? Because money, just like music, it needs reading, it needs balance, and it requires good timing. So this evening, depending on the time wherever you are, but it's night where I am, we're going to tune in our money minds to a reading that is going to move across borders. We're going to be talking about budgeting. We're going to be talking about savings, investing, and planning. And that's a word that I wanted to underline, planning with intent. So why does this matter to every one of us here, whether you are living in Nigeria or whether you are in diaspora? Um, for instance, the audience from diaspora, it would mean that you are going to be managing currencies across different countries. You're going to be timing your remittances, and you're going to be finding cross-border opportunities. That's for those of us who are in diaspora. And for this evening, what it is that we want to talk about is financial intelligence, and the fact that financial intelligence is the bridge that keeps prosperity flowing between Nigeria, wherever you are, and amongst us here in Nigeria. So this evening, we're going to be talking about defining what financial intelligence is. We're going to talk about how it grows our personal wealth, across the world, across borders, and how it strengthens national wealth, how entrepreneurship and productivity all fit in, and some practical steps that we can take today, whether you're in Lagos, whether you're in London, whatever you are, and through the diaspora network. Okay, so I think I've spoken about the outline. Now, let's just talk quickly about the core ideas, introduction to financial intelligence. Financial intelligence is the ability to understand money, manage it wisely, and multiply it in a very sustainable way, no matter where you live. Now, the operative word here is understand. Understanding in the context of what goes into your mind, how your head interprets it. Financial intelligence is not about having money in your pocket. It is about how you even got the money to be in your pocket in the first instance. Because there's a saying that a fool and his money are soon part ways. But if you understand, if you know how to be able to, in a very wise way, manage and multiply your money, then we're talking about you being financially intelligent. A very quick story. Think about money as a passport for your finances. So let's talk about a budget passport that tells you where every naira, every pound, every dollar that you earn, that talks about where it has gone. And then you also have an emergency fund passport that keeps you steady when you go through, you interact with, a cross-border type of transaction. Now, from a diaspora angle, we have what we call the forex volatility. There's forex volatility. When you transfer money, there's transfer fees. And like I mentioned earlier on, there's currency timing. All of these things are real. But when you are financially intelligent, you have a game plan that is going to be able to protect your money, protect value, and then help you to be able to seize cross-border opportunities. When we started this meeting, a gentleman called Dapo was talking to us about opportunities that are available in Nigeria, talking about which is an investment in property. And generally speaking, in that same context, we're talking about whatever businesses you can do, in Nigeria. And like I mentioned earlier on, that if I was not a banker, I would be a DJ. The same way that a DJ reads the crowd, you read the room, you read the chemistry in the room, and then you begin to drop the right beat. You, as an individual, you also need to be able to read the market, right? You need to be able to read the market. You need to be able to time your moves, and then saving when rates climb up, investing when you have opportunities. I think Dako was talking about the opportunities that are available in Nigeria, the discounts and all the incentives that they're putting on the table. That's an opportunity. So you invest when opportunities align, and then you spend with a purpose. Why do you want to purchase a property? Why do you want to invest? There must be a purpose in your mind. It says that you want to be able to create a legacy for yourself, for your children, for your family. So that purpose must be at the forefront of whatever your motivation, for investing. Now, let us see how this bit translates into your personal word coach. I talked about reading the room, looking at the beats at that point in time and exactly how to be able to like plug into it. So slide by slide, we're going to talk to you how you can act with confidence, wherever you are. Now, financial intelligence and personal wealth, and now I want to just look at it from the context of diaspora because I observe that most of the audience here are, diaspora audience, so to speak. So personal wealth is not for you to just wish, and that's something that is very common, especially culturally, where everybody will say, I wish I had money, I wish I could do this, I wish I could do this. Personal wealth grows from disciplined actions, discipline that goes everywhere with you, right? Imagine if you're earning in one currency, but you're saving in another currency across different markets. You need to be able to have a very robust habit of budgeting. You need to be able to have emergency funds, and you need to be very, very consistent in the way that you invest or in the way that you save. Now, for diaspora Nigerians, this means that you need to be able to plan your remittances. You need to be able to plan your investment in a way that is going to be able to help you maximize value. And let me give an example of this. That cross-border investments, you need to be able to put your investment in accessible fund. You need to be able to diversify your investment in across different currency, and you should be able to automate savings that fund a planned return home. I'll talk about 30 December later on, but imagine that you're planning to be home for 30 December. You should have that sort of investment that you can put in your investment, put in fund that would help you to be able to make sure that I talked about doing things with a purpose. Whatever your purpose is for coming home, whether you're coming to invest, you're coming to have fun, you're coming to bond with family, then you should be able to have some sort of automated savings program that is going to be able to help you ensure that you meet up and align with your purpose. Now, you need to be able to time your transfers to be able to minimize costs whilst you're building credit history, whilst you're building investment that is going to bring you back home. Like Dr. talked about earlier on, he said this is about timing. December is a period where clients of Rep 360 can get a lot of discount and deals. And it's the same thing. Even banks like Wema Bank too, we also have deals from time to time. And I'll talk a little bit about that when I get to, when we get to 30 December. But from a discipline perspective, which is exactly what it is that we're talking about here today, you can just picture somebody who is a student, somebody who is just starting their career, whether you're in Nigeria or whether you are abroad. I imagine that you automate the sum of 1,000 Naira daily into a diversified cross-border portfolio. Over a 1 year period, you would have been able to save about 365,000 Naira. And that money, you can use it for anything. I know it may sound small, but it's just the principle of it. Because saving 1,000 Naira daily is almost going to sound like it's nothing, but it comes from a place of discipline. It comes from a place of purpose. It comes from a place of intentionality, intentional action, right? And you can, if it's a student, like I said earlier on, it can be used for educational purpose. In fact, they can start something like a side hustle while they're still in school. Now, how does this connect to us as a country when people begin to behave like this, right? Let us just go and look at how this connects to national wealth. Now, national wealth, it's not just a number. National wealth, it's about the collective, is the sum of the decisions that have been made by individuals, decisions that have been made by businesses, by communities, wherever it is that you are. Now, if as a financially intelligent population, now we're talking about this collective community, people, when a collection of people are financially intelligent, it boosts productivity. And a quick example that I'll give is when people come together to form like cooperative, what it is that you're doing, in Rep 360. When you all come together as financial intelligent individuals, you are going to be boosting productivity. You are going to be creating capital, right? And for those of us that are in diaspora, it means that you're translating the fact that you have exposure abroad. You are going to be translating it into domestic impact. That's what that means. Your remittances, your investment, and knowledge transfer would be able to leave small businesses, and it's going to be able to drive more inclusivity, back here in Nigeria. And there are quite a number of vehicles that are diaspora-led investments in Nigeria. Real estate, I mean, a top of mind example that we have talked about this evening. You can have there are various platforms, example of platforms, and even for us at Wema Bank, we have one that we call the iPhilanthropy. It's a platform that allows diaspora to be able to contribute meaningfully into other businesses, small businesses that they pick. The focus of that platform is fashion, furniture, renewable energy. So you can pick the business that you want to be able to support, and you can track the progress. So it's a formal structure that have been created to be able to ensure that diaspora people that live in diaspora can participate, in the Nigerian context of investment and supporting, the growth of MSME in the country. When you also want to look at inflation, you want to look at, the forex environment, then it becomes very, very important that we cultivate disciplined financial behavior that is going to help us to be able to reduce shock. And, diaspora, you play a very huge role when you channel investment that can help to be able to stabilize growth, and it can open up new opportunity even for small businesses and for your families, for communities, back home. So how do we translate the wealth that we can create into action for productivity, into action, for entrepreneurs? Now, let's start with looking at the fact that entrepreneurship only thrives where money is managed with clarity across borders or within Nigeria itself. But on this slide, the core message here is talking about capital management. We're talking about cash flow discipline. We're talking about how you can reinvest, smart borrowing, and long-term planning. These are all levers, universal levers for productivity, for driving productivity. And the diaspora community, you can leverage your global networks to be able to amplify these levers, at home. As a founder, you can access, because you are in diaspora, you can access international market, you can become an investor, and you can be a talent even while you're maintaining, very tight cash flow discipline, and you're investing plans, for you to be able to scale. And so an example that I'm going to highlight here is that is a fashion entrepreneur that is doing business across a border. How do you track your cash flow? How do you ensure that you can reinvest the money in a very disciplined manner? And how can you avoid unplanned spending? And how can you scale like 4 to 6 times, right? Whether you are putting your bill from Abuja, whether you're putting your bill, from New York. So discipline, I think I talked about understanding. Understanding is anchored on discipline learning, discipline execution. And if you participate in the investment ecosystem in the country, you can drive job, you can drive the creation and growth of job even back, in Nigeria. You will be involved in that job creation and national economic growth. That's the connection, at the national level. Now, let me talk a bit about our diaspora, some of our diaspora programs. I know I had mentioned earlier on that I will talk about Basic December. So we have a particular website. If you go on your Instagram or if you Google it, you're going to find it, the dirtydecemberblog.com. If for any reason that you're coming home this 30 December, it is very important that it will be very helpful let me not say it's important, but it will be very helpful that you are able to open an account in Nigeria. An account that you will open, I talked earlier on about being able to save because you're planning to come home. So you can save in that account and you can get a card, a local card that would allow you to be able to facilitate payment, spending in Nigeria. And for us, Wema Bank, we're going to even be at the airport and we can give you that card as you're landing. We're going to be providing free transportation to any location in Lagos. We're going to be able to give you a free SIM card that will allow you to be able to facilitate communication. I know when you are in Nigeria, and pending when you're able to be able to get yours. When you land. Whilst you are abroad, because for you to be able to open an account, you can visit any of our agents. If you go visit the Dirty December platform, you'll be able to find the listing of our agents across different countries in UK, in US, in Europe. Something else that I would like to close this meeting with, from a discipline perspective, from understanding and being intentional about how you spend money. There's a product or a proposition that I would also want to talk about. We call it spend and save. What that means is that as you're spending money during Dirty December, when you come home, you have an opportunity to be able to create automation. I think I talked about you can automate savings. So you can automate and say, for every money that I spend, 5%, 10% of that money should be saved. It's called spend and save. And it's on alert goals. If you download alert from the comfort of your home, wherever you are, even right now, if you download alert, you can open that account. You can open an account. You can open a domiciliary account, and you can create goals. You can set it up and say that every time I spend money, 5% or 10% of that money should be kept. So that means that if you think that you're not even somebody who is disciplined, who is somebody who is intentional, you don't want to be going into your app or going into your account every time to be moving money, and you're somebody who just like to spend, it's fine. So you can this is a product that we have created with people like you in mind, that every time you spend money, you are saving money. Right now, I know that there's football. People are watching football, all over the world. On that particular app, you also have what we call the group savings. So if your team, you can set it up in such a way that if your team is winning, if your team is losing, there's an amount of money that you can set aside. And so when we're talking about financial intelligence, Wema Bank, we're at the forefront of that in the way that we have designed our proposition, in the way we have designed our investment product. And these are high-earning savings and investment proposition that allows you to be able to earn up to 15, 16% on your investment. And just imagine every time you spend, you're saving, right? Every time your team wins, because these are automatic deduction, from your account. And before you know it, you would have been able to build up a large sum of money that you never thought was possible. So if you're the disciplined one and you want to go in there and be intentional about moving money, those propositions are there. If you say, you know what, every time they talk about this financial intelligence, talking about being intentional, talking about being disciplined, I have a problem with it. I do not have time. I never remember. No problem. Just take that one action, just that once, where you go and set up those nudges, and the system, the product will do it for you. It will automatically just debit the amount of money based on what it is that you have set, for it to do for you. So this is the end of the presentation. I just hope that I've been able to impact your thinking. And even if you say, like I mentioned earlier on, that it's not something that you're able to do by yourself, please, you can just go on to Alert app, download that app, go to Alert Goals, and just set nudges for you. And I also want to say that this is not just about account. It's about helping to build a generation of Nigerians who understand, investment, who, wherever you are globally, you have the mindset to be able to plan your wealth. That's what this is about. I know I'm talking about the account, but it's all related and aligned to exactly what it is that you would, how you would benefit, and how you are not only financially intelligent, but you are building wealth for yourself, you're building wealth for your family, and then within the community, you're building wealth that is going to be able to translate to national development, to national wealth. Thank you very much. I'll be happy to take any question that you may have. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mrs. Ayodele. We are grateful for the insight that you just shared with us. So please, participants, let the questions start rolling in if you do have questions for our speaker. So I've learned that financial intelligence is the ability to understand money, manage it wisely, and multiply it sustainably. And understanding is anchored on discipline. And you emphasized on discipline a lot. And you said uh, it's very important to be disciplined with finance. Tracking your cash flow is also important, and you build wealth. You build wealth that will translate into your generations. We don't have a question yet, but Chinyere Distinguished says very insightful. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
So I can unmute, but I cannot undo my video. All right, no wahala. So, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for sharing. I feel that while many people will be like, oh, very insightful, sometimes it is more important when the questions are personal and practical. Somebody is asking, where do we get the app? Also, must you have an account with Wema Bank to use it? Okay. So I think you should please take that question.
Yeah, please go to your Play Store or your App Store. You can download alerts, and immediately you can open the accounts. Once you get there, you will see the goals that I talked about. You go through the journey of opening the account. It's very simple. It's very intuitive. 2-3 minutes, the account is open. And please, when you're opening the account, use your Nigerian address because it will be assumed that you are in Nigeria. So just use your Nigerian address. You can use any telephone number, but use your Nigerian address because that's what it's going to be. That's where the verification, that's what will be done. And then you can go to alert goals where you're going to see the various options of goals. Click on the spend and save. I also want to mention that there's another one called receive and save. During Christmas period, people gift us money, whether they gift to your, to friends, to family. There's also another variant there that is called receive and save. So you can say, yes, I've received money. Before I begin to spend it, every time I receive, let me keep maybe 20% of that money in an investment, a high earning savings account. January is always a very long month. Just saying.
Okay. So me in my own, when I opened my alert now, I'm seeing goals, but my goals is I don't have a group. So I don't think I can create a goal because I don't have a group. I'm
You
wondering.
create a group for yourself. You can even create Rev 360 group there. You can create a group by yourself.
Okay.
You can create a group.
I'm so happy that you mentioned this, the things you mentioned, and it might come across at first like, oh, you're marketing a solution. But the truth is, if the solution is going to work for you, don't complain about the marketing. Because a lot of times money that I don't see, I can't spend. That was the principle that helped me to save. Because if I can see the money, something will touch the money. I most likely will spend the money. But when I'm able to lock the money away and I don't have access to the money, that is the guarantee that I would actually save. So for those that struggle with saving, this might be a solution. If you struggle with black tax, people always coming to ask you for money, people always begging you, and when they beg you, you will, if you have the money, you will help them. You're not a wicked person. So, but if you don't have the money, if your money is already in goals, you cannot withdraw the money. It's a useful tool as well, and it will be very, very good for people to do that. Somebody asked a question that if those that live in Nigeria that have not jackpot, does it have, what's the opportunity for them? And then for those who are coming to Nigeria at all, that if they're not coming for 30 December, what's the advantage?
Oh, okay. Honestly speaking, I want to repeat again. I like that you said it's not about account, and I insist it's not about me just talking about account. It fits perfectly into the context of the presentation, financial intelligence, because you require tools. You know, earlier on when I was talking, I talked about budgeting tools. You need to have tools that will help you. It's not just as simple as you wishing. You know, I also talked about wishful thinking. So people would say, I want to save, I want to have money. There's some songs that are coming into my head. I want to have money, but you also need to have the tools. You need to have a community like Web 360, which is fantastic. And I'll say, TMO, well done for what it is that you're doing, because you're creating a community that you want to empower. And at the end of the day, it's going to translate into national wealth. So I'm not here to talk about account, but I just want to talk about what it is that you need, the tools that will be able to help you. So please download Alert. And I'm not certain that there are many banks that have that tool. It doesn't also matter whether you are in Nigeria, you have not jackpot, or whether you have jackpot. It is an app that allows you to be able to open an account. So it's that simple. It's not an app that you need paper to open an account. No, just go in there, download it, and then click on get started. You will open the account, and it's very intuitive. On a step-by-step basis, you will open the account. So it does not matter whether you're, like I said, you're in Nigeria or not, you're not in Nigeria. From where you are abroad, you can transfer money, you can remit money into that account and begin to save. I talked about the card. Like if you're in Nigeria, you're spending, you'll be able to collect the card. There's a virtual card on it as well, and you can do with it the same thing you can do with the physical card. You can do.
I use it actually. So I use it so I can say that it works.
If you're not coming for 30 December and you want to make purchase, because on that website there are so many merchants that we have enlisted. So even if you want to buy items from wherever you are, you're not coming physically, but you want to be part of all of the goodies, you can use your virtual card to be able to make payments. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing. Like everything, there are tools that increases productivity. There are tools that increases strength. If you want to build muscles, you might have that goal, but for you to build a muscle, you need to carry weights, So if somebody says, I sell weights, then don't say, you're marketing weights to me. No, do you want muscle? If you want to be financially disciplined, you want to be able to spend your money as you planned it, then there are tools that can help you, budgeting tools, saving tools that you don't have access to it. And there are many things that we must take advantage of, not when we have so much technology within our reach. Should we be struggling with any of these things? And honestly, it's the reason we're doing this at Club 360 is because I've spoken to customers that when I finish talking to them, I'm like, God really loves you, because like God, you have access to money. Thank God that you even thought of buying real estate. But beyond that, this community is supposed to help provide more knowledge, because what you don't know, you can't give. And you can't ask all people responsible for not being disciplined financially because they don't know. And so rather than me just complaining or me judging people for their ignorance, we've created a platform that empowers them and educates them. So you know a little bit more, you do better with the knowledge that you have. In some cases, next year we'll do a lot more around family and parenting. I now have teenagers. I'm facing challenges of raising teenagers. So I feel like if I have customers that have teenagers as well, let me bring parenting coach, because we cannot make money and then not have family. We cannot make money and not have health. We cannot make money. So everything needs to be a balanced life. So for me, it's extremely important that we continue to educate ourselves. So thank you so much. Thank you, Ma. Thank you for um thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you for giving us your time. I don't take it for granted. I know the platforms with which you speak. I know that your time is valuable. Honestly, I'm very grateful. This is a big win for us as a team. And I know that God will reward you and sustain you. There's nothing we could have paid you for your time, honestly. It's just out of your kindness, and I don't take it for granted at all. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
investing in people you don't know. They might not be your client, they might never be your client, but you've invested, you've sown a seed. It will definitely come back to you multiple folds, and all your generation would be so supported in all they lay their hands upon. In
you.
Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you so much. I'm
Thank
very grateful. Let me release you, Ma. All right, my people. Thank you for coming in. I know you've learned something. I know that you've gotten value. It is not, this is not a frivolous journey for us. It is not a frivolous journey for Rep 360. It's not a frivolous journey to create Club 360. And I appreciate every one of you that you've taken time to be here, because honestly, there are many other things you can be doing with your time, but I am committed to adding value to anyone who comes in contact to me. Like you come in contact with me, you patronize me. Hey, your life you must not go down. People have seasons. Life is seasonal. But for those that have wisdom, even in farming, they'll be flourishing because they understand the principles. Now, for me, my job is to empower everybody in this community with the principles that would ensure that no matter the season outside, you will flourish. You would flourish with your children, you'll flourish in your relationship, in your marriage, in your business, in your career. You flourish because you follow the principles. You flourish because you are in business with God. And you flourish because you obey. So please don't just listen to everything that has been shared. Listen to the principles and pick something you are going to implement. Don't just have the knowledge. Please implement something out of all the things that has been shared. Since we started this Club 360, every month, just pick something that you would implement. So if it is opening the alerts, creating a savings, setting a goal, stretching yourself, you in 1 year time would be a financially wiser person because you made a decision. I'll give you one quick example. Today, I wanted to do, I was supposed to do my hair since over a week. I'm not feeling too well. I'm actually still on drugs. And I've been seeing this advert by Black Hair. They have these hair extensions that feel so soft and natural. And when I wanted to buy, they said I'll need 4. I checked it was about 400,000 naira. I got to the point of payment and I just asked myself, Tokwe, why do you want to buy an extension of 400,000 naira? Even though they say it is reusable 100 times, that's not a decision that speaks to wealth creation. It doesn't speak to discipline, it doesn't bring you money. Find some other cheaper extension you can use that will still achieve the goal for yourself. Review your decisions over and over again. I had gotten to check out 2 days ago, yesterday, and you know the way the thing is with adverts. The advert has been chasing me. Black Friday, you will get promo, 11 more hours for the promo. I just told myself, I'm not interested in this. It's not because you will not get tempted, it's that you will make decisions. And your decisions will not be made because it is easy. It is made because you have saturated your head with so much knowledge on financial discipline that unconsciously you would always make the right decision. Whether you like it or not, you would always make the right decision. So yes, you might know a lot about money, but being in this room is important. So thank you for being in the room. Thank you for learning. I share my story so that you can always understand that even people that know are still struggling with decisions. Even when you have the money, you still struggle with the decision. That's the truth. And even if you have money, you shouldn't spend it anyhow. So I know that we did allocation yesterday. I know that we always try to do like a real estate update. I know that was said some things earlier, but I was having connection issues during that time. So our meetings that we do during Club 360s are opportunities for us to engage, get feedback. Real estate in Lagos has been very buzz, and many people are a bit scared, but we do these meetings to impact you and then also hear from you. We're a growing company. We take feedback very seriously. We're not perfect. When we get the feedback, we implement the changes and get better about it. So we appreciate your feedbacks when they come. Next month, which is our last for the year, is going to be like a Thanksgiving time. I'm going to be sharing a lot. I'll be the one teaching. Yay! I'll be the one teaching. I think Josephine gave me a topic. I can't remember, but we discussed it and I was so gingered about the topic. I was like, man, this is so going to be good. What was the topic?
It was planning for 2026.
Planning for 2026. Because I was telling them my own plans for 2026 and how much I have planned. So they were like, we should do it. Okay. I'm feeling much better. I couldn't have done this yesterday. I was really, really down yesterday, Chinwe, like no jokes. I was really, really down. Even right now, I'm still medicated, but I knew I had to show up. My big madam cannot come and teach us, and I'll now be saying because I'm not feeling fine, I'm not here. For what? Impossible. So, next month we're going to have a lot more conversation. Next month we're going to talk about planning for 2026. I'll share you what I do, how I plan, how I design my vision board on Canva, put it on my phone, put it up as my screensaver everywhere, as a way to keep it in front of my eye, the power of envisioning. And I'll share how I've had some things in my vision board over the years and how I've manifested them. But beyond that, practical planning for 2026 is what we'll be discussing. But I'll also give you our plan as a company for 2026. I'll let you know our goals for 2026. I feel it's important to always make, I don't believe in hiding goals. I believe in sharing my goal. I don't believe anybody can stop my goal from happening. As a company, we'll share our goals with our people here with the hope that together we'll make it our reality. So I can't wait to see you for our last Club 360 meeting for the year. Thank you for partnering with Rep 360. Thank you for trusting our brand. Thank you for investing with us. Thank you for buying property through us. And as always, we're committed to your growth, your peace of mind, and your profits. Enjoy the rest of your evening. If you're in Nigeria, if you're in the UK, if you're in Europe, but if you're in America, enjoy the rest of your day. And patronize us on our offers. We have plenty of offers. Please patronize us. December 28th is our last meeting. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining in.